I rise today to update this August House on the successful delivery of the Rotuma Youth Festival 2025 held from the 25th 28th of August 2025 at Ahau Government Station in Rotuma. The festival's overarching purpose was to empower young people and unlock community potential through practical skills training, targeted awareness, cultural revitalization, and direct access to essential government and corporate services. It was conceptualized as a whole of government, whole of community initiative, anchored in our national commitment to inclusion, equity, and opportunity for all, including those in our most remote maritime communities. On the genesis of the festival, Honourable Speaker, this program did not emerge in isolation. It was a direct response to consultations held during my official visit to Rotuma in April of this year. Youths, families, and community leaders voiced clear and consistent needs for improved access to government services, genuine employment pathways, support for youth sports, and urgent attention to sexual and reproductive health issues. Our response, grounded in listening, partnership, and delivery, was the Rotuma Youth Festival 2025. For the program structure, the festival unfolded in two strategic phases. One, the pre-festival capacity building on the 11th to 22nd August 2025. This phase offered targeted training to youths and women in small engine repair, basic solar maintenance, screen printing, tie and dye, jewelry making, financial literacy, sexual and reproductive health and rights. These were tailored to Rotuma's unique context, addressing transport, renewable energy reliance, and the potential for micro-enterprise development. Phase 2, the festival proper, was on the 25th to the 28th of August 2025. It was held at Ahau and supported by evening consultations in districts. Activities included a government and corporate services roadshow, sports tournament, cultural performances, structured youth and community engagement. On its participation and reach, Honourable Speaker, complementing daytime services for the evening community consultations, which attracted 161 youths over 3 nights, excluding the adults and elderly. These Talanoa-style sessions enabled frank, informed conversations on employment, training, SRHR, law and order, and youth safety. They provided a safe, inclusive space for young people, especially women and girls, to engage directly with decision makers and service providers. On the achievements, Honourable Speaker, the festival was coordinated by the Ministry of Youth and Sports in partnership with the Office of the Commissioner Eastern, line ministries, corporate institutions, and civil society organizations. The breadth of services delivered on island, rather than requiring costly travel to Suva, demonstrates the value of a coordinated deployment model for maritime communities. With financial inclusion and banking, there were the Bank of the South Pacific, which managed to open 50 new accounts for social welfare recipients. They redirected 7 allowances to active accounts. They distributed 10 internet banking registration forms to schools and clubs and enrolled 3 customers in mobile banking. Secondly, SOLE who deployed 8 services, including installing solar services at Ahau Post Office for deposits and withdrawals, handling new registrations, 30 direct sign-ups, 50 supported overall, and conducting presentations at Ahau, Malhaha District, Malhaha High School, and during village visits. This created a permanent access point for transactions and an essential legacy outcome for Rotuma. Under social protection and women's empowerment, the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Protection provided the on-the-spot services such as registering available bank accounts for recipients, consultations on poverty benefits, child protection allowance, and social pension, disability support, women's economic empowerment grants, and registration of women's groups. Under the tax compliance and business formalization, the Fiji Revenue and Customs Services delivered 79 joint card applications, 53 individual TIN registrations, 9 sole trader registrations, and 2 tax compliance registrations, alongside Talano assessments on obligations and benefits. Importantly, the Fiji Revenue and Customs Services conducted an initial assessment for permanent kiosk at the district officer's office, enabling ongoing access to tax services. FRCS also collaborated with the Department of Cooperatives and the Rotuma Women's Association to support compliance for women's business groups. For employment pathways, the National Employment Centre handled 31 inquiries, including application follow-ups and new registrations, connecting Rotuman youths to both local and overseas job opportunities. While modest in absolute numbers, these interactions are sufficient and significant because they need continuity. Youths are now in the system and can be tracked, counselled, and placed. For health and SRHR, the Reproductive and Family Health Association of Fiji, RFHAF, provided the sexual reproductive health rights awareness and point-of-care testing for HIV and syphilis. This was a crucial response to community-raised concerns over teenage pregnancy. Sessions emphasized consent, healthy decision-making, youth-friendly services, and access pathways for remote communities. For agriculture and livelihoods, the Ministry of Agriculture provided crop extension advisories, field visits to farmer clusters, and practical recommendations tailored to Rotuma's soil and climatic conditions, supporting food security and livelihood diversification. For cooperative and MSMEs development, the Ministry of Trade, MSME, and cooperatives facilitated 59 MSME grants, 95% under the Trade Enhancement Program and 5% under IHRDP, underscoring strong demand for startup and expansion support among small traders and women entrepreneurs. 100 youths participated in cooperative awareness and registration sessions, culminating in the registration of Chuchu Women's Cooperative on Handicraft and Agriculture, the Rotuma Women's Cooperative Homestay, and the Tuakoi Community Cooperative on Consumer and Agriculture, with advisory support for Malhaha, Fairvai, Pepche, and Motusa. For capacity building and skills development, the Ministry engaged trainers in sewing, jewelry making, small engine repair, and solar maintenance and training. The small engine program facilitated the repair of 5 motorbikes, 36 brush cutters, 10 generators, and 15 chainsaws that have not been used for more than a year. Cost of the repairs amounted to approximately $38,000 if they were taken to a garage. However, these were facilitated at no cost as part of the training program. Under sports, culture and youth voice, Honourable Speaker, sports were more than recreation. They were a strategic engagement tool. District teams competed in touch rugby, volleyball and netball, promoting discipline, teamwork, leadership and healthy lifestyles, while creating an inclusive platform for youth identity and pride. Teams were also recognized for winners and best attires. At the end of the event, Rotuma established its Community Sports Association and preliminary processes undertaken to register Rotuma Volleyball Association under the national parent body. Honourable Speaker, cultural revitalization was featured through traditional songs, dances and arts supported by the National Youth Band, which also served as a youth inspiration platform for performance, creativity and discipline. These elements rooted the festival in Rotuman identity and strengthened intergenerational knowledge transfer. Crucially, the evening consultations amplified youth voice. The presence of the Fiji Police Sexual Offences Unit provided targeted awareness on youth safety, reporting mechanisms, and legal protections. Challenges and lessons. Honourable Speaker, we are candid about the challenges encountered, and these included: 1. Geographical isolation increased costs and constrained flexibility in shipping schedules, placing a premium on early joint planning. Second, connectivity limitations impacted digital service delivery for tax filings, business registrations, and online banking enrollment. Third, perception gaps persisted. Some sole traders assumed ROC registration alone was sufficient and lacked awareness of the Fiji Revenue and Customs Services obligations. Fourth, cultural sensitivities initially limited sexual reproductive health rights uptake. Privacy assured spaces improved confidence and participation. Fifth, overlapping services across agencies occasionally caused confusion. Time constraints reduced availability for complex one-to-one cases. Honourable Speaker, these lessons have directly shaped our recommendations and next steps, ensuring improvement as we scale this model across other maritime and rural settings. Improvement measures have been developed and are aligned with our national development priorities for inclusive growth, youth employment, women's economic empowerment, and service decentralization. They deepen our delivery of the government's commitment to reduce geographic inequities and to uphold the dignity and potential of every young person wherever they live. Honourable Speaker, to ensure that these gains are not episodic but structural, the Ministry will implement a simple, outcome-oriented monitoring and evaluation framework for all future maritime and rural service festivals, including Rotuma. These data will be compiled into a quarterly service outreach dashboard for the Eastern Division and shared with the Office of the Commissioner Eastern and relevant line ministries to coordinate follow-ups and continuous improvement. In short, Honourable Speaker, this approach represents a value for money for substituting many small fragmented trips with a single integrated operation that produces measurable multi-sector results and creates lasting service infrastructure on island. The way forward, Honourable Speaker, in light of the outcomes and lessons learned, I wish to record the following commitments. 1 is to institutionalize the Rotuma model. We will adopt this integrated service festivals approach as a template for other maritime and remote communities, with adaptations for local contexts. Honourable Speaker, second, lock-in legacy services. We will work with FRCS to commission the kiosk at the district office and continue supporting the operation of solar services at the Ahau post office, ensuring stable year-round access. Third, scale youth employment pathways. NEC to identify a named focal officer for maritime cases such as Rotuma, with quarterly reporting on placements and active job matching for overseas and domestic opportunities. Fourth, support cooperatives and MSMEs. The Ministry of Trade and MSMEs, the cooperatives will work with the Ministry of Youth and Sports, provide post-festival clinics, virtual or in person, to strengthen governance, bookkeeping and compliance for newly registered and revived cooperatives. The Ministry of Youth and Sports is also working closely with the Rotuma Council of Chiefs in identifying a space for the establishment of the Rotuma Youth Cooperative Association, a youth training facility and a standard-sized rural sports ground. Fifth, sustain health literacy protection in partnership with health and the RFHAF. We will reschedule periodic sexual reproductive health rights outreach with private consultation spaces, embedding youth-friendly protocols. Sixth, enhance sports pathways. We will map district sport talent, link promising athletes to training pathways, and use sports for development modules to reinforce life skills, teamwork, and resilience, with particular effort to increase girls' participation. Develop a multi-purpose hub court for Rotuma to ensure youths have access to modern sports facilities enjoyed by youths in the greater urban centres. Seventh, improve connectivity. We will continue engagement with telecom providers and relevant ministries to upgrade connectivity at service nodes critical to tax, banking, and employment services. Acknowledgement, Honourable Speaker. I wish to acknowledge the Office of the Commissioner Eastern, the District Officer Rotuma, the Australian Air Force for Strategic Airlift, Gando Shipping Services, and many agencies and partners whose service made a tangible difference. BSP, SOLE, and FNPF for Financial Inclusion, FRCS, NEC, RFHAF, Ministry of Women, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade, MSME and cooperatives, the PG Police Sexual Offences Unit, the National Youth Band. Most importantly, I thank God and the people of Rotuma, the chiefs, elders, women, youths, community leaders and families, whose participation transformed a program into a partnership, a festival into a platform for possibility. Conclusion, Honourable Speaker, the Rotuma Youth Festival 2025 demonstrates the power of listening, partnership and delivery. By bringing services to the people, building skills that matter, strengthening health and safety, enabling employment and enterprise, and celebrating culture and sport, we have advanced a model of development that is practical, inclusive, and dignifying. With the continued support of this House, our partners and the communities we serve, the Ministry of Youth and Sports will carry this momentum forward, institutionalizing the Rotuma model, scaling it where it is most needed, and ensuring that our young people can learn, earn, lead, and thrive at home, on their island, and in our nation. Honourable Speaker, yesterday we were engaged in a critical discussion on the issue of substance abuse, a crisis that continues to plague our youth and tear at the fabric of our communities. Today, I just highlighted a model that holds real promise in addressing this concern. This model is conceived as a whole of government, whole of community initiative, firmly rooted in our national commitment to inclusion, equity, and opportunity for all. It presents a unified and collaborative approach, drawing together public institutions, civil society, and community stakeholders to respond collectively and effectively to the challenges of our young people. If we are serious about protecting the future of our youth, then we must be equally serious about implementing comprehensive strategies like these, strategies that break down silos and put people, especially our youth, at the center of development and support. Honourable Speaker, I commend this statement to Parliament. Faexia.
Thanks, Chair.